I'm Pamela Josie, a volunteer with WUSC. We're here today to talk about the equipment and protocols that we want to use in the Irish Potato Soil Sampling Project. We've got the equipment we need today. We've got some kind of an auger, some kind of soil sampling device, as well as a recording sheet for information about the field, and the digital soil nutrient testers that we're going to do parallel sampling with. Instead of a paper form, we also have a Google form online that the information can be entered in directly, either in the field or after the sampling as well. You need something to record with and a bit of water as well to wet up the soil in case it is too dry.
Hi, my name is Dennis Josie, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about the using the soil probe test kit that's being provided by WUSC. So it comes in a kit, it comes in a box, and if you look in the box, there are a number of labeled probes. And so the first one we can talk about is the nitrogen probe. It comes with a protective cap on the tip, and it is turned on, insert it into the moist soil, and you will very quickly get a reading on that screen. So there's several probes here that can be used. We talked about the nitrogen probe. There's also a phosphorus probe, a potassium probe that measures pH, and EC, or electrical conductivity, and also a soil temperature and moisture or humidity probe. Just something to point out, it comes with a charger, and it can be plugged into the jack here. Make sure your probes are properly charged before you take them out to the field. If the green light on the charger is on, that means the probe is fully charged. When you're going to sample a field, it's a good idea to have an understanding of how large the whole field area is. So this is a yam field of about 70 or so hills. So it's good to have a sense for how large the area is, and you want to pull samples that represent the entire area, not just one corner of the field. So here we're going to take about 4 samples, and this one is one of them. So to take the field, to prep the field for the probe, you need to wet the soil so that the probe can kind of read the ions in the soil and also just soften the soil up so you can penetrate it. So we're just going to try and wet this. We're going to use about a half a liter for a fairly small area, about the size of half a sheet of paper. And we're going to give the water time to soak in, so that we want to wet it up till about 8 or 10 centimeters deep. So about, 4 inches deep. So for this project, we're also taking soil samples with an auger to take back to the lab and compare our results. So if you can go and just adjacent to the site that you prep for using the probes, go and take pull an auger, or you can use a machete, you can use a shovel, whatever you can use to pull a sample adjacent to the site that you're going to do the probing. So our goal is to sample about to 6 inches or 15 centimeters deep. Okay, so we're going to sample with the pH probe. It's labeled pH probe there. We're going to remove the protective cap from the tip. You see that the tip is nice and clean, and we'll want to make sure that we put it back into the cap nice and clean and dry, usually using a paper towel or a nice clean cloth. Okay, so we can turn it on, and then you'll see it read 7.00. So we're going to stick it into the soil, and then it takes about 1 minute for it to light up the light on the probe.
So we've created an electronic sample submission form for this specific probe and soil test comparison project with WUSC and ALMD. So if you have connection, you can enter your email. We'll give you the link. Enter your email, who you are, and then we have you enter the farm that you're at or the location, as well as the date it is, what parish you're in, the town as well as the GPS coordinates. Those are really helpful in interpretation. And then, because we have the soil probes in this case, we have 4 sheets for inputting the soil probe information. I'm at subsample 4 right now, so I'm just going to move ahead. I've entered the numbers from the probes here for both pH, phosphorus, and potassium. And we're going to enter it now for our next site. That's number 2, and we are at number 3. So it's just really easy. The pH probe, what was the number, Dennis?
5.8.
5.8. 80. So the numbers just stay in here, and we are going to be entering the numbers now for phosphorus and potassium as well.
Okay, next we're going to use the soil P probe, and so we're going to remove the protective cap. We're going to turn it on, and then it should be zeroed out, and then we're going to insert it into the ground. They tell you to put it, rotate in a clockwise motion, I guess probably so you don't unscrew the tip. Make sure you don't have too much resistance. If you're pushing into really hard ground, it is a delicate instrument and you can wreck it. So you may have to do some more wetting if that's the case, but just be gentle with them. Okay, the P and the K readings come out very quickly. In this case, it's reading 1 ppm. And we're going to turn it off, and we're going to clean the probe, make sure it's nice and dry before we put the cap back on and put it away. And we're now going to do the soil K reading, or potassium reading. We're going to turn it on. It's very similar to the phosphorus. Turn it on, it will zero out very quickly. We're going to insert it in a circular clockwise motion. And in this case, our reading is 3 parts per million. So the reason we are using the pH and the potassium and the phosphorus probes and not using the nitrogen, EC, and temperature ones is our goal is to sort of verify using the lab the results, and so those are the ones we're most interested in, and the only ones that we will be able to get lab results for in time, and that is the pH, the potassium, and the phosphorus. So this is the 4th of our subsamples from this field that we're doing. We've done 3 samples now, and this is our 4th and final one.
So I've been working alongside Dennis capturing the results from the probes in the soil submission form. I've now completed the last location, subsample 4 for pH, P, and K. Move to the last one here. There's a little place here you can add any notes about the site. We're doing some videos here today. It was a steep site and very dry soil. So we had to take a little extra soil actually to get up to the 2-pound soil sample that we wanted. And then if you would like a copy of the results, you can send a copy of your responses because your email is entered at the beginning of this. So you can get a copy. It's going into a Google Sheet that will then compile the soil lab test results alongside and be able to compare the infield probe with the soil test results. So I've taken the last subsample. So we've got 4 cores in here, or 4 scoops with a machete or whatever other device we've used. Before I take it from the field, so I don't lose it, I'm going to tie it up. And so it's just a matter, these larger bags are nice because it's easy to get a shovel in, but it's also nice to provide a good easy tying. And if we want to, we can submit the sample. If you've entered everything in the electronic form, we're going to fill out a soil label and put it in here, but can do that back at the vehicle. So now that I have my soil sample, I'm going to fill out the form to go along with it. I already have all the probe information submitted online. So I just need to match up what I called the farm, and we have Shakina Stewart here with us today. And this is her yam farm that we're working at. And today's date is January 29th. Now, if you did not have the Google form or don't like doing things electronically, We also have a form with all the same information as on this one and on the electronic form, and with the 4 subsoil measurements for the probes. And that can just be filled out and submitted inside the double bag. Then it's just a matter of tying this all up so it all stays together. We want to keep the identification along with the soil sample. And this can go back to the Agricultural Land Management Division Soil Testing Lab at 191 Hope Road, Kingston, whether that's with a local officer, with staff, courier, that's where it needs to go. Okay, so we're at a second site now, and at our last location, it was very hilly and steep, and we had to, for safety reasons, kind of keep in the straight line of the row across the slope. In this field here now that we're at, it's a little more open, so we're going to try and take a more random selection of subsample areas that represent this field. So it's an unfertilized area that is going to be prepared for Irish potato. We are going to start at one location. Now this is wetting things up now. So that'll be our first location. Then we'll walk, depending how large an area, 10 to 30 steps away, maybe in a circle or a bit of a zigzag, but just trying to find random areas in the field to represent it.